How did my husband say, okay, so calmly, then have divorce papers handed to me in the office lobby the very next day? What did he already know when I thought I was the one holding all the power? Why did everyone look at me like I was the problem when I was sure he pushed me into it? My name is Ardelia Kerr-Cole, and I used to think I was a patient wife. I used to tell myself I carried the whole house on my back. I had a normal job in HR at a logistics company. I did schedules, forms, and small problems all day. Then I came home and saw the same quiet man, the same dinner, the same budget talk. After years of that, I started to feel like I was shrinking. Ethan was not a bad man. That is the problem. If he had been loud or cruel, my choices would look simple. But he was steady. He woke up early. He packed the kids' lunches. He paid bills on time. He asked about my day. He touched my shoulder when he walked by. He thought that was love. I wanted more than steady. I wanted a feeling. I wanted proof that I still had options. That Friday, Cassidy invited me to a rooftop lounge downtown. She owned a salon and lived like every night was a show. She said I needed fresh air. I said I was tired, and she said tired was a choice. I told Ethan I was going out for a bit. He asked who was going. I said it was just Cassidy and a few girls. He asked what time I would be back. I said not late. The rooftop was loud but pretty. There were warm lights and glass rails, and people who looked like they were always photographed. Cassidy came in first, already smiling. She hugged me and said I looked like I needed a new life. I laughed like it was a joke, but I liked hearing it. At the table, the talk turned to men, money, and upgrades. One friend said her boyfriend finally bought her a ring, and everyone cheered. Another friend said she had rules now, and she would not build a man. Cassidy looked at me and asked what Ethan did again. I said he managed construction projects. She asked how much he made. I told her, and she made a face like I had offered her cheap wine. I could have stopped it there. I could have defended him. But I wanted the room on my side. I wanted to feel bigger than my life. So I said something sharp. I said if I found a richer man, I would leave. I said it like a truth, not a threat. People laughed too hard. Someone lifted a phone. I saw the lens and still kept talking. I said I was not made to struggle. I said I knew my worth. In my mind, it was not even cruel. It was honest. Ethan always said he wanted honesty. Cassidy clinked her glass and looked proud of me. She said I should never settle. I smiled and let that pride wrap around me. I felt warm, like I had done something brave. I told myself I was doing it for my future, and even for my kids. I told myself a better life was the same as love. Later, on the ride home, my phone buzzed with messages. Friends wrote that I was iconic. Cassidy sent laughing emojis and said the night was a win. I stared at the screen and felt like a star. Ethan was in the kitchen when I walked in. The house was quiet. The kids were asleep. There was a small lamp on over the sink. He looked up from a cup he was rinsing and asked if I had fun. I said yes. He paused and asked what I meant by what I said. I pretended I did not understand. I asked what he was talking about. He said someone had sent him a clip. He asked if I really meant I would leave for a richer man. I felt my chest tighten, not from guilt, but from being caught. I hated that a clip existed. I hated that people could pass my words around like a plate. I also hated that he had heard it before I could control the story. So I did what I always did when I felt cornered. I turned it back on him. I said it was a joke. I said he was taking it wrong. I said he always made me the bad guy. I said I was allowed to talk like that with friends. I said he should not be so sensitive. He asked why I needed to say it in public. I said public did not matter. I said if he felt embarrassed, that was his insecurity, not my behavior. I said he should work harder if he wanted to feel secure. I said I was tired of carrying the emotional load alone. He did not shout. He did not slam anything. He only stared at the sink for a second, like he was counting something in his head. Then he asked if I was happy. I said happiness was not a gift. I said happiness came from effort and results. I said respect followed results, and I had results. I knew it sounded cold, but I liked how it sounded. It made me feel right. He dried his hands and said he was going to bed. I expected him to argue more. I expected a fight. I almost wanted it, because a fight would make him look like the problem. But he just walked away. I stood there, annoyed by his calm. Calm felt like a trick. Calm felt like he was hiding something. That night, I posted a story online. It was a quote about knowing your worth. I did not name Ethan, but I wanted people to understand. I wanted the room from the rooftop to follow me home. Comments came in fast. Cassidy replied with hearts. I felt safer with the approval. When I went into the bedroom, Ethan was not there. I saw the guest room door almost closed. I did not open it. I told myself he was being dramatic. I told myself he would come back when he cooled down. I told myself he needed this lesson. In the morning, I went to the kitchen first. Ethan was already up. He had made coffee. The kids' lunch bags were lined up near the door. It looked normal, but it felt wrong. He poured coffee into his mug and set it on the counter. Then he poured mine and set it on the other side, farther away, like two small islands. His phone lit up with a calendar reminder. I caught a glimpse before he turned it over. It said, meeting, personal 9:10 a.m. He did not explain it. He did not even look at me when he silenced it. I asked where he was going later. He said he had things to handle. I asked if it was work. He said it was personal. His voice was flat, not angry. That flatness made my skin itch. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself he was trying to scare me. I told myself he could not do anything serious over one joke. But when he left, he did not kiss my cheek like he always did. The front door closed with a soft, careful sound, and I realized I did not know what he was planning at all. On Monday, I walked into the office like nothing happened. I wore my good blazer. I kept my face calm. Inside, I felt tight and loud, like a kettle ready to whistle. I told myself I was still in control. I told myself Ethan was the one who should be careful now, not me. The open-plan floor smelled like coffee and printer paper. People looked up when I passed. Some smiled like they knew something. Some looked away fast. That is how gossip moves. It hides, but it still watches. Cassidy had already sent the rooftop clip to me again. She said it was funny. She said I looked strong. She said men needed to hear the truth. I liked those words. Strong sounded better than mean. At my desk, I opened my email and tried to focus on work. I had payroll forms to check. I had a manager asking for a new hire packet. But my phone kept buzzing. The gossip page had posted the clip. My name was tagged by someone I barely knew. There were comments under it. Some people cheered. Some people wrote that I was ungrateful. One person wrote that Ethan looked nice in the family photo on my profile. That made my stomach turn. Riley Chen walked by with a folder. She slowed down near my desk and asked if I was okay. I said I was fine and it was just a silly night out. She said the internet could be cruel. I said I could handle it. I did not tell her I had started it. At lunch, I went to the break room and sat with Cassidy on video call. She asked if Ethan had begged yet. I said he was being cold. She said cold was manipulation. She said I should not let him punish me. I nodded like she was teaching me something important. A coworker named Brent came in for coffee. He glanced at my phone and said he had seen the video. He asked if I was serious. I laughed and said it was just jokes. Then I added that Ethan had been acting weird lately. I said he was jealous and controlling. I said he watched my spending. I said he hated when I went out. I made my voice soft, like I was sharing a private hurt. Brent frowned and said that sounded stressful. I said it was. I said I tried so hard to keep peace at home. I said I was the one doing emotional work. I liked how he looked at me after that, like I was the wronged one. In the afternoon, my phone buzzed with a call from Graham Sutter. His name was saved with a simple G. That way it looked harmless. I stepped into the copy area where the printer noise could cover my voice. He asked how my weekend was. I said it was fine, just some drama. He said I deserved better than drama. He said a woman like me should be celebrated, not questioned. I felt my face warm. I told him Ethan did not understand me. I told him Ethan was comfortable and lazy. I told him I was tired of being the one who pushed life forward. Graham said he admired my drive. He said he knew people who lived well and did not apologize for it. He said I should come by his office sometime, just for a quick chat. I said I would see. I kept my tone light, then I ended the call and deleted it from the log. My thumb moved fast like it had done this before. I told myself it was privacy, not secrecy. That evening, I went to the gym after work. I did not tell Ethan first. I told myself I did not need permission. At the smoothie bar, Cassidy met me and waved like we were a team. She asked if the video got more views. I said yes. She laughed and said this was my glow-up era. She said I should not waste time with a man who could not match my standards. I said Ethan had stopped trying. I said he used my love like a blanket. I said I wanted a man who could give me a better life. Cassidy asked if I had someone in mind. I smiled and said I had options. I let it hang in the air like perfume. I watched Cassidy's eyes widen, and I felt proud. When I got home, the house was quiet again. Ethan was at the kitchen counter, cutting fruit for the kids' lunch. Mila's backpack was on a chair. Noah's little socks were in a neat pile. Ethan asked how the gym was. I said it was fine. He asked why I had not texted. I said my phone died. He looked at my phone on the counter, charging, and said nothing. I tried to start a fight. I asked why he was acting like a stranger. He asked if I wanted to talk about the clip. I said there was nothing to talk about. I said he was making it bigger than it was. I said he should not care what strangers thought. I said if he was embarrassed, he should work on himself. He asked if I wanted to leave him. I said he was twisting my words. I said he was trying to trap me into a confession. I said he loved playing the victim. My voice went sharp. I did not like the question because it sounded like a door opening. He took his mug and moved it to the other side of the counter again, away from mine. He asked if I could keep the kids' schedule normal this week. I said of course, like he was silly to ask. He nodded once and walked toward the hallway. As he passed the small office nook, I heard a low hum, like a shredder running for a moment. I turned my head. He was standing by a drawer. He pushed it closed and I heard a soft click, like a lock. He did not look at me. He just said he had to finish a few personal tasks later. I wanted to ask what tasks. I wanted to demand answers, but something in his calm made me hold back. It was like he had stepped onto a path I could not see. That night I lay in bed and scrolled through comments again. I replied to a few with laughing emojis. I liked the support. I told myself the public agreed with me. I told myself Ethan would have to change if he wanted to keep me. Still, when the house went silent, I kept thinking about that drawer and that click. I kept thinking about how he did not argue, not even once. On Tuesday, I told myself the noise would pass. I said the internet always moved on. I said Ethan would get tired of being quiet. I wanted him to break first, because then I could point and say, see, that is who he is. But he did not break. He became softer in the house, like he was trying not to touch anything. That afternoon, I left work for an errand. I put it on my calendar like it was normal. I did not tell anyone where I went. I drove to the downtown parking garage near the river, the one with the dim lights and the slow gate. My hands were dry on the steering wheel. I told myself it was not wrong to talk to someone who understood me. Graham was waiting by a pillar. He wore a clean jacket, like he had stepped out of a photo. He smiled and asked if I was okay. I said I was fine, just stressed. He asked why I stayed with a man who did not value me. I said it was complicated. I said kids made everything complicated. He said kids deserved a happy mother. I liked that. It sounded like permission. He asked if Ethan had seen the clip. I said yes, and I said Ethan acted cold. Graham said cold men were selfish. He said a real man did not make a woman beg for attention. I nodded and acted like I was learning something new, even though I had already decided what I wanted to believe. Graham asked if I wanted to sit somewhere quieter. I said I could not because I had to pick up the kids soon. He said I was responsible, and he said he admired that. He told me about a condo listing he had, with a view and a gym and a lobby that smelled like fresh flowers. He asked if I ever imagined living like that. I said yes, and my voice came out too fast. When my phone buzzed, I looked down and saw a school reminder. The moment felt sharp. I suddenly pictured Ethan doing pickups without me, calm and steady, like he had practiced for a future where I was not in the picture. That made me angry, so I turned the anger into pride. I told Graham that Ethan was comfortable. I said Ethan liked the simple life too much. I said I had ambition, and Ethan did not match it. Graham said I should not shrink to fit a man. He said I should be with someone who could expand my world. I felt my chest lift when he said that, like I was already walking into the condo lobby. On the drive to the school, I rehearsed my story. I said to myself that I was only meeting a friend. I said to myself that Ethan had forced my hand by ignoring me. I said to myself that a woman deserved options. I kept repeating it until it sounded true. In the school pickup line, Ethan's car was already there. It was pointed toward the street, ready to leave. He was early again. He sat straight and looked ahead. When he saw me pull in behind him, he did not wave. He simply checked his phone once, then put it down. Mila climbed into my car with her backpack bouncing. Noah followed with his little jacket half open. Mila asked why Daddy slept in the other room. I said Daddy was stressed and needed space. She asked if it was her fault. I said no and told her to look out the window at the trees. Noah asked if we could have pizza. I said maybe, like I had not heard him. At home, Ethan was in the kitchen, washing a small stack of dishes. He asked how work was. I said it was busy. He asked if I went anywhere after work. I said no, and I smiled like it was easy. He looked at me for a second too long, then he nodded once. I noticed small changes. His mug was on the far side of the counter again. Mine was on the near side. The space between them felt like a line. There was a new key on his keyring. I asked what it was for. He said it was for something practical. I said he was being vague. He said he was handling things. That evening, we had dinner with family at a restaurant, a long table with too many plates and too much noise. My mother, Janice, sat near me like a guard. Ethan sat across, near his mother, Patricia. My sister, Taryn, came late from a shift and slid in beside me with tired eyes. Janice started the talk fast. She asked Ethan how work was going and if he had any big promotions coming. She said it with a smile, but it was a knife. Ethan said work was steady. Janice laughed and said steady was nice, but life costs money. She looked at me and said I deserved comfort. I laughed too loud. I said Ethan was a good dad, but sometimes I wished he had more drive. I said it like I was being fair. Patricia's fork paused in her hand. She looked at me, then at Ethan, like she was taking a picture in her mind. Ethan asked me, calmly, if I wanted to talk later at home. I said there was nothing to talk about. I said he was making things awkward. I said we were fine. I said he should stop acting like a victim in front of everyone. Taryn leaned close and asked if I was serious about what I had been saying. I told her I was just being honest. She asked if I was cheating. I told her she was dramatic. I said she always judged me because she thought she was better. Taryn's mouth tightened, and she did not speak for a while. Janice brought up the clip again. She said people loved it because it was true. She said men needed to be pushed. Ethan's face stayed calm, but his eyes went far away, like he was listening to something else. When the server cleared plates, Ethan stood and said he needed to take a call. He stepped away from the table. I watched him by the hallway, phone to his ear. He did not look angry. He looked focused. I saw a small light blink on his screen for a moment, and I heard a soft beep, like an app starting and then stopping. I told myself it was nothing. Still, my stomach turned. On the way home, Ethan drove in silence. I tried to pull him back into a fight. I said my mother was only joking. I said he was too proud. I said he had embarrassed me by being cold in public. He asked quietly if I wanted to stay married. I said he was trying to trap me again. I said I could not talk to him when he acted like this. When we got home, I saw a neat stack of folders on the counter. One was labeled Utilities. Another said Bank. I asked what it was. He said it was household stuff. He slid them into a drawer and closed it carefully. The lock clicked. Later, when I went to get water, I saw his laptop open for a second. There was a plain screen with lines like a spreadsheet. No names, no titles, just rows. He closed it when he saw me. I told myself he was tracking my spending to control me. That story felt safer than the other idea. In bed, I checked my phone and saw a message from Graham. He asked if I was okay after dinner. He said he hated that I was not appreciated. I stared at the words until my eyes felt dry. I told myself I deserved someone who chose me first. Then I heard Ethan in the hallway, walking toward the guest room again, calm and steady, like he was already practicing a life without me. On Wednesday morning, I woke up and checked my phone before I checked on the kids. I saw new comments on the clip. I saw strangers arguing about my marriage like it was a game. Some people called me brave. Some called me cruel. I told myself the cruel ones were jealous. That made it easier to breathe. Ethan was already up. I could hear the kettle. I walked into the kitchen and saw 2 lunch bags ready again, lined up like a small factory line. He did not look at me right away. He asked if I wanted coffee. I said yes, like nothing was wrong. He placed my mug on the counter, but he did it far from his. That space between mugs was starting to feel like a rule. I tried to pull him back into a normal routine. I asked what he was doing later. He said he had errands. I asked what kind. He said practical things. I said he was acting secretive. He said he was keeping the house stable. That word, stable, made me feel blamed, even though he did not say my name. After drop-off, I went to work, but my head was not there. I watched Riley talk to another coworker and glance at me, then look away. I told myself she was judging me because she wanted my confidence. In the copy area, I printed a stack of onboarding papers, and the printer spit out 1 blank page first. The smell of toner rose up. It reminded me of Ethan late at night, the soft sounds from the office nook. I stared at the blank page too long, like it was a message. At lunch, I called Cassidy. I told her Ethan was punishing me with silence. She said silence was control. She said I should take control back. She asked if I had seen Graham again. I said not yet. She said I should, because men only respect women who can leave. I liked that. It sounded like a rule I could win with. That afternoon, I went to the supermarket. I told myself I was doing something useful. I pushed the cart fast, like speed could make me feel normal. I picked up the kids' snacks. I picked up ingredients for dinner. I added a fancy cheese I did not need, just because it looked like a better life. At the checkout, the line moved slow. I tapped my card and waited for the beep. The screen flashed and the payment did not go through. The cashier's face stayed polite, but I felt heat rush into my neck. I tried again. It declined again. I laughed like it was nothing and said the machine was acting up. The cashier said it might be the bank. People behind me shifted, impatient. My hands shook as I searched for another card. I only had the shared one. I hated that I did not have a backup. I hated that I had to stand there and look small. My phone buzzed. It was Ethan. He asked if I was at the store. I said yes and asked how he knew. He said he got a bank alert. He asked what happened at the register. I said the card was broken. He said he could transfer money, but he asked what I was buying. That question felt like a trap. I said I was buying food for the kids. I said he was embarrassing me by calling at this moment. I said he was controlling. He said he was not trying to control me, he was trying to keep accounts clear. He told me to use a different card that he had left in the kitchen drawer. I had not seen that card before. That made me feel worse. I told the cashier I would step aside. I walked away from the line with the cart, like a person being moved out of the way. In the corner, near the vending machines, I called Ethan again. I demanded to know why the old card did not work. He said it still worked, but there were limits now. He said it was temporary. He said he was making sure bills were covered and nothing got messy. I said he was treating me like a child. He said he was treating the house like a responsibility. When I got home, I opened the kitchen drawer and found the new card. It was taped to a sticky note that said, "Groceries plus kids only." My face burned. It was not a threat, but it felt like a judgment written in plain ink. I tried to turn it into a story where I was the victim. When Ethan walked in later, I told him he was financially abusive. I said he was trying to scare me into obedience. He asked what I meant. I said he was limiting my access. He said he was paying every bill on time and making sure the kids' needs came first. He said we could talk about spending later, in a calm way. That calm way was starting to feel like a wall I could not climb. In the evening, I took the kids to the playground to show myself I was still the good parent. Mila ran to the slide. Noah followed her like a shadow. I sat on the bench and watched, but my eyes kept going to my phone. Graham texted and asked if I was free tomorrow morning. He said he wanted to talk without stress. I stared at the words and felt a rush, like I had a secret door out of this life. Then I saw Ethan's car pull into the parking area. He got out and walked over, calm, hands empty. He asked if the kids could stay 10 more minutes because Noah looked happy. I said yes, but my voice came out sharp anyway. I asked why he was here. He said he was just checking in. He asked if I needed help with pickup later this week. That sounded too reasonable, and it made me suspicious. A father from the neighborhood waved at Ethan. Ethan nodded back. He looked normal to everyone. I looked like the tense one. I hated that. On the walk home, Mila held my hand and asked why Daddy did not laugh with me anymore. I said Daddy was tired and stressed. She asked if I was mad at him. I said no, but my voice was flat. She looked up at me like she did not believe me. That small look felt like a loss. At home, Ethan put the kids' pajamas on the couch, ready for bedtime. He moved through the room like a person following a checklist. I asked if he was writing down everything I did. He asked why I would say that. I said I could feel it. I said he was building a case against me. I said he wanted people to think I was crazy. He did not deny it the way I wanted. He only said he wanted peace in the house. He said he wanted routines. He said the kids needed quiet. That night, I stood in the hallway and watched him close the guest room door again. He did it gently. He did not slam it. He did not look back. And for the first time, I felt something cold under my pride, like the ground shifting while I was still trying to pose for the camera. On Thursday, I woke up with a plan. I told myself Ethan was not allowed to stay calm forever. I told myself silence was a trick. I said to myself that if he did not chase me, it meant he did not love me enough. That thought hurt, so I turned it into anger. I walked into the kitchen and acted normal. I asked if he slept okay. He said yes. I asked if he was still doing the school run. He said he would do drop-off, and I could do pick-up. His voice was polite, like we were co-workers. I hated that. I tried to make him jealous on purpose. While he packed the lunches, I held my phone where he could see it. I tapped a message from Graham, slow and obvious. Ethan glanced once, then looked away. He did not ask. He did not grab the phone. He did not even sigh. That made my face hot. After drop-off, I drove to work and could not focus. My mind kept replaying the rooftop clip, the grocery card note, the space between mugs. I told myself those were small things. I told myself I could still flip the story. I told myself people would always believe a mother who looked hurt. At lunchtime, I stepped outside the office and called Graham. He asked how I was holding up. I said Ethan was trying to control me with money and silence. Graham said that sounded toxic. He said a strong woman should not accept that. He said if I wanted a different life, he could show me what that looked like. He asked if I could meet him the next morning, early. I said I had pickup plans and kid routines. He said routines could change. I liked hearing that, even though it made me feel reckless. I told him I would try. I ended the call and told myself it was not cheating, not yet. I said it was only talking. I said Ethan's coldness had pushed me there. After work, I went home and found Ethan in the hallway near the stairwell. He was carrying a small box from the closet. He moved it toward the garage like it weighed nothing. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. I asked why now. He said the house worked better when things were clear. I stepped in his path on the landing. I did it like I was calm, but I was not. I asked if he was planning to leave. He asked why I thought that. I said I could feel it. I said he was punishing me for a joke. I said he was acting like I was the villain. He asked quietly if I had been faithful. The question landed hard. My chest tightened. I did not want to answer it because any answer would give him power. So I attacked the question instead. I asked why he was accusing me. I said only insecure men ask that. I said he was trying to trap me so he could play the victim. I said he had been emotionally absent for years. I said he did not meet my needs. I said he did not touch me enough, and when he did, it felt routine. I said he acted like the house was love, and love was more than that. He listened without moving. He asked where I was Tuesday afternoon. I said I was running errands. He asked which errands. I said he was interrogating me. I said he was acting scary, even though he was not raising his voice. I said it anyway because the word scary could stick. He told me he was not interrogating me. He said he was asking because the kids needed stability and honesty in the home. I laughed and said he was using the kids as a shield. I told him he was not the only parent. I said I could take the kids to my mother's if I wanted. I said I had options. He did not react the way I wanted. He only asked if I was threatening him. I said I was stating facts. I said if he could not give me a better life, then I might leave. I said it like I was brave. I said it like I was fair. I wanted him to panic. He did not panic. He picked up the box again and walked past me, careful and calm. I followed him down the stairs, pushing for a fight. I asked if he was even going to try. He asked what try meant. I said, try meant he should prove he wanted me. I said he should fight for our marriage. He asked if fighting meant begging. I said maybe it did. He set the box down near the garage door and said he would not beg to be treated with respect. He said he would not compete with strangers online. He said he wanted peace. His words were clean. They made me feel dirty. Later, at the school pickup line, I arrived early for once. I wanted to prove I still ran things. I wanted to be the stable one. But Ethan's car was already there again, in the far lane, pointed toward the street like always. He was not even picking up today, yet he was there. That made my stomach drop. I walked over and asked why he came. He said he had a quick meeting nearby and wanted to confirm tomorrow's schedule with the teacher. He said it was easier to keep routines clear. I said he was showing off. He asked how that was showing off. I said everyone could see him being perfect. He said he was just being a parent. When Mila climbed into my car, she asked if we were still going to her school event next week. I said yes. She asked if Daddy would be there too. I said he should be if he cared. The words came out sharp and Mila's face changed. She looked away. At home, I tried another tactic. I decided to confess in a soft way without really confessing. I told Ethan I felt lonely for a long time. I said I felt unseen. I said sometimes I talked to people who made me feel valued. I watched his face to see if he would flinch. He did not. He asked what I meant by talked. I said I meant emotional support. I said I never had support from him. I said he worked too much and left me with the emotional burden. I said if he was better, I would not need anyone else. I said it like a simple equation, like I was being logical. He nodded once, like he heard me, but his eyes stayed steady. He asked if I was willing to stop humiliating him in public. I said he was making it about him again. I said I could not live with a man who could not handle honesty. I said if he wanted respect, he should earn it. He walked to the kitchen, opened his laptop for a moment, and I saw a neat set of folders on the screen. The names were plain, like Archive A and Archive B. He closed it when I stepped closer. I asked what he was hiding. He said he was not hiding anything, he was organizing. I said he was planning something. He said he was planning for stability. I felt my control slipping, so I went big. I said I would leave for a richer man if I had to. I said he was not my dream anymore. I said I deserved more than a man who acted like love was a checklist. Ethan looked at me for a long moment. Then he spoke in the same calm voice, like he had already chosen the next step. He said he would handle it properly. My phone buzzed the next morning while I was walking into the office tower, and for a second I thought it was Graham. I pictured his message again, the one about making things official. I held that picture like a shield. It made me feel chosen. Then a woman in a plain blazer stepped in front of me, near the lobby benches. She asked if I was Ardelia Kerr-Cole. I said yes, annoyed that a stranger knew my full name. She said she had documents for me and asked me to confirm my address. I said she did not need my address. She said it was part of proper service. She held out an envelope. I did not take it right away. I looked around. Riley was coming through the doors behind me with her coffee. A security guard watched like it was normal. 2 people from another company stood by the elevator and glanced over. My mouth went dry. I took the envelope and opened it with shaking hands. I saw my name printed in bold. I saw Ethan's name. I saw the word petition and the word divorce. I felt the lobby tilt, like the floor moved but nobody else noticed. I whispered that this had to be a mistake. The woman said it was filed yesterday. She said there were temporary terms listed inside. She said I should read everything. Then she stepped back like her job was done. I turned and saw Ethan near the glass doors, calm, clean, and fully dressed like it was any other morning. He did not look proud. He looked finished. I walked toward him fast and asked how he could do this over one argument. He said it was not one argument. He said it was a pattern, and he was done being humiliated. I told him he was trying to ruin me. He asked how I was ruined by paperwork. I said he was cold and cruel. He said he was being lawful. He said he filed the day after I said I would leave for a richer man because he believed me. I said the kids needed their mother, and he could not do this. He said the papers protected the kids, not punished me. He said the schedule for pickups was set for now, and it started today. He said money access was temporary and clear, so bills stayed paid. He said the home rules were temporary too, and he would follow them exactly. I tried to cry louder, like the lobby was my stage again. Riley stopped walking. She watched my hands on the pages. Ethan looked at me and said he would only discuss the kids from now on, and he would do everything properly.